Hello, welcome back. Steely Dan UHQR, Can't Buy a Thrill. It's here. Did the comparison. And yeah, we are in for some surprises, or I have had some big surprises, probably controversial stuff. And of course we talk about the big elephant in the room. But before we do that, before we go into the comparison and into the things that are obvious we need to talk about, let's get through this release. Let's get through this first Steely Dan release as an UHQR. Of course, we get our outer box set. We get some advertiser stuff, in a way not worth mentioning, but it belongs in here. We get the technical specification manual where the pros of the UHQR idea and concept is explained. We get a little certificate, and of course again photos of the people, and that is something I do love, the people that are involved. And then let's get to the stuff that is special for this release. We get liner notes from Donald Fagen. We get an incredible, beautiful Stoughton jacket. Shiny, glossy, gorgeous quality. Here. Backside. Yeah, no seam split or problems. Come on, get sharp. I see. This is so tricky, no chance today, sorry. But jacket arrived in perfect condition. And of course we have the 200 gram Clarity 45 RPM vinyl with this super flat profile. Here we My face is too big probably, but I think you get an idea. We have been through this over and over and over again. So the full luxury product, and you know, I wasn't able to get a decent American first pressing. Yeah, and then Chet Kasem said, come on, you know what? I sent you this one for comparison. He sent me his white label promo copy. The jacket is a tiny bit beaten up, but the vinyl is in an incredible shape. And of course I'm very happy that he did it, because now I can compare it to as at least Patrick yesterday in the live stream stated, that this is so far his favorite pressing, so I can't get a better copy. Of course this goes for really high prices if you look it up over at Discogs or eBay. You can imagine white label promo copy is something special. And of course that showed me, oh, he is really confident when it comes to his remaster of the Can't Buy a Thrill. Good sign in a way. But you know, I had the pleasure and due to the contact we have to have, because we did some videos together, and I saw for this release, at least for this release, Can't Buy a Thrill, he didn't go the whole 9 yards. He went more. He took so many extra miles for this because he wanted to be so sure that analog production does it as good as possible. That was really, really, really impressive to watch. How much effort, how much extra round for every single detail they took to make sure that we get the best possible result out of it. And so now it's here, now it's in my hand. Yeah, and then, as I said, I got my delivery, and I started with the white label promo. I listened to it, and then I was in for the first surprise. You know how it is in life. A lot of people talked about this Steely Dan releases, and I thought, okay, I put on this record and I'm in for a new haircut at least. I thought now the world will explode. I'm doing too much, but you know the point. I thought now, wow, this must be cool. I put it on, listened to it, and then I thought, yeah, I've heard better originals, more impressive originals so far. Don't get me wrong. This is a great sounding record, don't get me wrong. But compared to my experience with other releases, with other originals in that case, this is a great sounding record, but not legendary great sounding. So that was my first surprise. And so I said, okay, that's interesting. I've listened through the whole thing. And then I've listened again for the first song of the album, and then I put on the UHQR, 45 RPM vinyl, mastered by Bernie Grundman, and that was a surprise. Wow. Wow. Really good. Really, really good. Warm. Dynamic. Soundstage. Details. Musicality. I don't know how Bernie Grundman did that, but he improved this record to a level which is astonishing. At least on my system, at least to my ears. Yeah, call me fanboy, you're right, I am a fanboy. I'm a total fanboy of this release. That was or is impressive. Impressive as hell. A big surprise. You know, I've done the Jethro Tull stand-up, and I liked the analog productions more than the original, but not in this scale. This one sounds really better than the original, without any doubt. Especially one of the biggest surprises was, you know, when it comes to the original, the most spectacular thing in most cases is the freshness, how fresh they sound. And the UHQR sounds fresher. Believe it or not, or you can believe it, try it for yourself if you like to. This sounds so fresh. Astonishing, really, I would never ever have expected that. You know, I'm still quite excited because the comparison is now, that's 20 minutes ago. That was a surprise, and yeah, what can I say? That's what I have heard. That's what I still have to digest in a way, because this is an interesting, to say the least, interesting outcome, and shows yet again that it is possible, that it is worth doing it, worth going through that whole process, through all those tiny details that are, in my opinion, necessary to beat those iconic, cool originals. Of course, what still stays and will never ever be reachable is that the first pressing is the icon and the artifact, especially when it comes, for example, to a white label promo. But when it only gets into, when it only comes to the sound quality, then this UHQR is an amazing step. If I try to quantify it, I'd say between those, not between other records. I would give the original promo white label copy an 8, and the UHQR an 10, in every aspect. I haven't had a single problem, or I haven't found on my system a single weak point to this release. So killer job, really astonishing, really amazing. And I'm quite sure, because a lot of people, and then we get into the elephant in the room, the price. I can imagine that quite some people will wait for the release of only the album from Analog Production, and you are in for a fantastic treat. Of course, it won't have the Clarity vinyl, but still, I'm so sure that if you wait and get this kind of copy, you are also in for an amazing sounding record. Yeah, as mentioned, I think it's you need to talk about the price due to this discussion. $150, although, and let me say that before we get into it, $150 here in Europe, in Germany, we just can have a mild smile when we hear $150. When you are here in Germany or in Europe, you are up to 200, 220, 240 bucks, which is again this. Imagine that. But okay, $150. I know, of course, and I totally get that. It's so obvious to say, what? How could they? This is an outrage. We are talking about a record, and of course, I do get that, and I do understand this reaction, and it's of course, it's in a way, excuse me, but it's easy to get angry about it. But maybe what also should be considered is the process and the costs that are involved when you do those kind of releases, when you're not the owner of the license. I think I'm quite sure that these license fees are immense, and think about, there might be a reason why nobody has done Steely Dan as an audiophile release so far. There might be a reason, and this reason might be connected to the costs that are involved doing it, paying them, and imagine how much money you have to put up front, maybe years, before you can produce and sell those. This is a bold undertaking, in my opinion. You really need balls, you really need time, and you really do need stamina. And so please, I think we all should consider that when we are getting angry about this high prices, and of course we get a very luxury product. Please don't forget that. So I understand it, but to a certain degree I think it's a bit unfair. I know a lot of you don't like when you defend a company, but I think it's only fair to talk about that and put these points also into perspective. That being said, where I do think and where I do criticize is they really, in my opinion, have to get better when it comes to shipping to Europe. Other companies manage that. Of course, what you also have to consider, the companies who have better rates for that, it took way longer to get your record, but still, maybe I think it would be better if we here in Europe have the choice. Get it quick, get it fast, or take your time, but not this incredible shipping fee. I think this is a point where they should and where they could improve. Okay, this is my take on the $150 price. It's a lot. Now my handy is ringing. I hope it doesn't ring too long. You know, these things happen. Don't get annoyed. But yeah, but as I said, I'm big fan of this release. I'm totally surprised about the clarity of this outcome. And yeah, I love it. Okay, now I take my phone. Thank you very much for your time. See you on the next one. Bye.